I'm rarely over here, but a lot of people forget about this bike when it comes to naked motorcycles. I'm a straight rider, rider. I'm a straight rider, rider. I'm a straight rider. So this is my 2012 Ducati Monster Evo. It's got the perfect amount of rider aids and more than enough performance. Let's talk about it. I love that raw feel of these older motorcycles. There's nothing on earth that'll ever beat that. And you definitely can't beat that L twin sound. Oh my God. Oh, he was kicking it on that R7. So when you think about a naked motorcycle, the one that always pops in everyone's mind is the MT lineup, Yamaha's MT lineup, and I am going to miss this light all day long. I could have took it, but I'm not going to be that guy. Oh, that car in front of me screwed up my turn, man. Really jacked me up there, homie boy. When you think of a naked motorcycle, you're usually thinking of that MT lineup, like the MT-07, the MT-09, the MT-10, those bikes. But not a lot of people think about these older bikes or the original naked bike, such as this Ducati Monster, which is a great option for a naked performance. I'm almost going to call this a super naked because of the amount of performance it has versus its very short wheelbase and it's lightweight. So let's do a few comparison numbers to the MT-09 because I know those kind of by heart because I've been looking at a lot of them lately. So the MT-09 puts out 100, I believe it's 114 horsepower. It has a wet weight of about 417 pounds or so, and it putting out about 65 foot-pounds of torque. Now, this Ducati Monster, the Evo in its stock configuration, mine is not stock, and mine is putting out higher numbers than I'm about to quote you. It has 100 horsepower. It weighs about 414 pounds wet, and it's putting out 76 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a difference of calculations 11 foot-pounds of torque in for the Ducati Monster, and it loses about 14 horsepower when compared to the MT-09. But I tell you this, the MT-09 don't sound like this here. Oh, damn. Now, when you think about it, this bike comes with traction control. How many levels do you have on here? Let me jump into the menus. I don't know if it'll let me while riding. I gotta stop. Wait till I stop and I'll show y'all. But I think it has like 4 levels of traction control as well as ABS. It doesn't have rider modes, and it is a cable actuated throttle, I believe. I don't think it's ride-by-wire. I'm pretty sure it's not, because I feel like if it was ride-by-wire, I would not like this bike. Most bikes that are ride-by-wire have some type of modes on them, and it kind of just kills the feel of the motorcycle. Like, it makes it feel more dead, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. It feels like the computer is controlling your throttle, and it's more delayed because the bike has to decide on how much torque or how much throttle it actually wants to give the bike based off when you twist it. It's like, it's not instant as when you have a cable throttle where you're actually controlling all the inputs to the motorcycle. I just like that a lot better. Okay, we're gonna stop right here. I mean, for 2012, this joker has a lot of stuff on it. All right, we jump up. That's my battery. It shows me what my battery percent is. Shows me my RPMs digitally. I can set my shift light. That's for my lap timers, my lap memory. I still don't know what DDA is. I need to look that up. It says DDA erase. ABS says disable. Then you got the digital traction control, and you got the levels. It's on level 4 right now, so I can turn it to level 4. I can turn it down to level 3. You can pick which level you want it on. Then it got a clock that's never been set because I didn't know it had a clock. And in my opinion, the Ducati Monster is one of the most beautiful naked motorcycles to ever hit the market. Like, the bike is freaking gorgeous. The lines of it, like, we already know Italians just know how to make some beautiful vehicles. I mean, look at the Italian cars, look at all the Italian bikes, all of them are freaking gorgeous. Oh my god. And I feel like the MT lineup is so much more popular than things like the older Ducati Monsters or some of the other older naked bikes, because people talk about them so much. Everyone's talking about the MTs. They're talking about how they're wheelie monsters, how they're this, how they're that. Well, most of the people riding the MT ain't doing none of that stuff on the bike. They're just commuting on it. Which, from all the reviews I've done, which I gotta get my ass on an MT at some point. I rode an MT10, but I want to ride an MT09 and an MT07. I feel like I'm going to like the MT07 the most from all of the review videos and all of the data I've been looking up, because of the fact that it's still kind of one of those raw motorcycles that doesn't have all those rider aids. I think it has less rider aids than my Ducati Monster. It literally just has ABS. It doesn't have traction control or none of that. So it's definitely a raw motorcycle versus the MT09 and MT10. They're not raw. They have all kind of rider aids. I believe they're ride by wire and all that other stuff. And you know, it just kind of deadens that motorcycle riding experience, in my opinion. Perfect. Get out of my way. I love you so much, Hyundai. You're doing what I need you to do, which is no! What's up, player? You don't see a lot of clean, well taken care of, sexy machines like the one I'm sitting on here on the road. You don't see a whole lot of Ducati Monster. And I feel like that's because the social platform releasing, exposing, talking about the Ducati Monster, it just isn't there. Not a lot of people brag about or talk about this motorcycle. I mean, look at how many YouTubers actually promote Ducati Monsters versus the MT lineup. Not a lot. I'm trying to think if I can think of any besides me, and I think his name is NYC Ducati. I think we're the only ones that are Ducati Monster lovers. Everybody else is on MT10, MT07, MT09, MT this, MT that, mega titty this, mega titty that. Like, that's all they're all about. And I get it. Yamaha makes an amazing motorcycle and an amazing machine. I love Yamaha. Like, out of those are my choices for bikes. It's Harley, Ducati, and Yamaha. Those is what I ride. Of course, I got a Kawasaki Z125 Pro, but out of Kawasaki's, the only bike I like from them is the Z125 Pro. I just don't like the look and the style of all those other ones. How many people on my channel, two questions for y'all, two, and I'm tired of asking y'all questions and y'all don't answer my questions. I feel like that's just flat out rude. I ask a question, you don't answer. I ask another question, you don't answer the damn question. So, two questions for y'all. How many of you have seen a Ducati Monster, preferably the sexy style that I'm sitting on right here, a Evo 1100, in person? And how many of you have physically rode, put your ass in the seat of a Ducati Monster? Comment down below. If you've ridden one, put I've rode. If you've seen one in person, put I've seen. I just want to know, are there a lot of people that even are exposed to these motorcycles? Because I know when I'm out on it sometimes, I get people that come up to me like, what's that? What is that? Like, they don't even know what it is. And I don't understand how you don't know what one of the most iconic naked motorcycles is. Like, this Ducati started this naked craze. It was one of, if not the first naked motorcycle to hit the market. Like, there's a little history video of all about the Ducati Monster on YouTube or something. Like, y'all should watch that. Y'all should check it out. Like, it tells you the history of how this bike was developed and why it existed, and it's pretty mind-blowing. It's like, it's the truth. Yeah, it's the, well, technically it is the truth, because it's telling the truth about how, yeah. There's definitely some downsides to a Ducati Monster. The biggest downside to this Ducati Monster, I would say it was two. It's two things that suck: the heat and how expensive the maintenance is. Those are the two things that suck. And it's not typically that much more expensive than your typical motorcycle, such as like the oil changes, the clutch fluid changes, all that type of stuff, your basic maintenance. It's no big deal. It's that damn Desmo stuff. Like when you do the Desmo, oh my God. I called to quote what my next Desmo service is gonna be. $1,000. $1,000, baby. That's just nuts. Like, I feel like y'all charging too much. Ducati is some rapers. They're raping my pockets.
Well, obviously we have rapists. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.
In the end, they made the naked bike what the naked bike should be. High amount of torque, decent horsepower, comfortable seating position, and sexy in a mofo. I feel like the Monster is just forgotten about. People just forget about how iconic this motorcycle is, especially the newer generation. The newer generation, they don't care about where motorcycles came from, where they originated from, how beautiful they look. They don't care about the lines or nothing like that. The only thing they care about is, can it wheelie? Even if they can't do one. Shit, I can't do one. I can get the wheel up on accident, but I rarely do it on purpose. And they just out here wanting to be street Rossies, but they ain't even a piece of a street Rossie. Like, I don't know what it is with this younger generation nowadays. They all think the only way is super sport, that they cannot even use the performance of. Yeah, because they can't. So what am I trying to tell you? Go buy a Ducati Monster.
I'm straight Ryda.